We believe in a God who brings beauty from ashes. The prophet Isaiah referred to the Spirit of God in chapter 61, saying that because of the Lord's anointing, there will be comfort to all who mourn, to grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give them a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a faint spirit, that they may be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. They shall build up the ancient ruins, they shall raise up the former devastations, they shall repair the ruined cities. Pastor Ricky Moore of Garden Villas Baptist Church passed away from COVID in the summer of 2020, and the small congregation that he left behind determined that they were not going to continue. The UBA initiative of church renewal reminds us that we believe in coming alongside churches at their lowest points. Sherry Moore, Pastor Moore's widow, and the other remaining leaders considered a variety of options, from selling the property and distributing the assets to giving the building to UBA. We asked if, rather than receiving the building directly, could we put multiple congregations in that space that would be contextual to the community and revitalize the gospel presence in that area. Garden Villas graciously gave the facility away with the remainder of their assets, starting a fund combined with early adopting supporters like Sagemont Church, First Baptist Pearland, and others. UBA then set out on a journey looking for the right congregations to partner together to do a mighty collaborative work for the Lord in that space. This is the story of that beginning.
I called Juan Pablo, and he was asking me about if I knew anybody that would lend money because they wanted to buy a building. And I said, hey, you want one for free? And he almost died. And I said, hey, meet me in 30 minutes and let's see it. And we went around. And he got so excited about the possibility of what God could do here.
Well, my first reaction is when I come in the first time over here and I see it, I run to the building. And, she needed a lot of work here. But I see into the community, she needed the gospel of Jesus Christ. And when I see it the first time to come and work in here, the people coming out and look and see. Because anybody working for a long time here.
Let me tell you how this happened. I got a phone call from Pastor Lee. He tells me about this opportunity. This church was becoming available. And of course, unbelievable, shocked. And then I had the opportunity to meet Pastor Warren. And that really sealed it because I really loved him from the moment I met him. I liked his spirit, he had a very positive attitude. And so there you are.
So I get to the restaurant and they're all laughing and talking to each other. I'm like, huh? My job was supposed to get them to like each other, and they're already liking each other. And I get there, they come to find out that they live in the same neighborhood. I think they live in the same street, like 5 houses from each other, and they seen each other, but they didn't know each other, and they were getting to know each other. So that was like a God thing. I'm like, man, God, you're really sealing this thing.
When I presented this to my church, they were like me. This don't make good sense, but it seems as though we're in the midst of a real miracle, a real blessing.
The challenge we had was the building was in disrepair, and we needed a lot of volunteers and help. That's where UBA vision of collaboration comes in. We had First Baptist Church of Pasadena, we had First Baptist Church of Houston, we had Kingsland Baptist Church, and we had other churches come in and not only provide volunteers, but also a lot of finances. I'm having a conversation with Pastor Juan Pablo, and while they were remodeling the location of the building, he saw the neighbor across the street looking at the renovation. And he decided to cross the street and talk to him. And as he talking to him and tell him, hey, this is a new church, we're taking over the building, soon we're going to be having service here. And as they finished the conversation, he said, you know what? I've been here for 15 years. And this is the first time somebody crossed from there to here.
And my dreams in the future, it's this area, the community looking here, one house to help, and one house to everyone to come and receive the love in Jesus Christ.
We are at that point that we really want this community to know that these churches, this partnership group of love people, is here to make a difference for them.
Well, this is amazing now because two different churches, but it is one plan. It's so for God make a plan for work everyone. So I like when God put me here and a pastor church coming to here and work together. It's amazing for me. When I'm starting my ministry on the UVA, helped me a lot. And I see it in UVA, the platform to, move the church, especially in Houston area, but especially for me in this place. So I like in working together in the same plan, and working hard for the gospel, and I like the UVA because that one is, to me, is the other hands to work together is for one point in specific, is that Jesus Christ.
When I tell the story about Juan Pablo meeting his neighbor, it just exemplified to me why we need collaboration between churches. Because one church cannot do the work of the gospel. It took many churches to come together in order to facilitate Juan Pablo to reach his neighbor for Christ. And it takes many churches to come together to spread the gospel and reach our city for Jesus.
We have this theme for UVA, better together. And whenever I talk to someone from UVA, I end the conversation with that because it's sort of the thematic approach to what we do best for one another. And that's UVA, better together.